Welcome back to our channel, where we uncover the most shocking and heart-wrenching true crime cases. Today, we delve into the tragic and mysterious case of Fay Swetlik, a 6-year-old girl whose disappearance and subsequent discovery left an entire community in mourning and shock. This is a story of innocence lost, a relentless search, and an unimaginable conclusion. Fay Marie Swetlik was a vibrant, cheerful 6-year-old girl from Casey, South Carolina. Known for her infectious smile and bright spirit, Fay was a kindergartner at Springdale Elementary School. She loved playing outside, wearing pretty dresses, and spending time with her family. Her bubbly personality made her a beloved figure in her neighborhood, where she was often seen riding her bike or playing with friends. Fay's disappearance would soon cast a dark shadow over this close-knit community, revealing the harsh reality that such evil can strike anywhere, even in the most seemingly peaceful places. Her boundless energy and love for life made her the heart of her family, and her absence would be felt deeply by all who knew her. On February 10th, 2020, Fay arrived home from school and was last seen playing in her front yard around 3:45 p.m. Her mother, Selena Collins, briefly lost sight of her and soon realized that Fay was nowhere to be found. Panic set in as she searched the house and the surrounding area, but there was no sign of Fay. Desperate, Selena called 911, sparking an extensive search operation. The neighborhood was quickly swarmed with police officers, search dogs, and volunteers, all hoping to find Fay safe and sound. The sense of urgency and community solidarity was palpable, as everyone hoped for a swift resolution to the unfolding nightmare. The neighborhood's tight-knit nature meant that everyone felt the impact of her disappearance, with each resident contributing to the search efforts in any way they could. The search for Fay Swetlik was one of the largest in South Carolina's history. Over 300 law enforcement officers from various agencies joined the search, using helicopters, drones, and bloodhounds to comb through every inch of the neighborhood and surrounding areas. The community rallied together, distributing flyers and holding vigils, clinging to the hope that Fay would be found alive. As the days passed, the search intensified, with investigators going door to door and interviewing neighbors in hopes of uncovering any clues. Despite the exhaustive efforts, there were no significant leads, and the tension within the community grew with each passing hour. The relentless search efforts demonstrated the collective determination to find Fay, but also underscored the growing fear and anxiety among those who knew her. 3 days later, on February 13th, 2020, the community's worst fears were confirmed. At a press conference, the Casey Department of Public Safety announced the tragic news. Fay Swetlik's body had been found in a wooded area near her home. The discovery was made during a routine check of the neighborhood, which led investigators to a trash can where they found a critical piece of evidence, a child's polka dot boot. This clue led them to the heartbreaking discovery of Fay's body. The confirmation of her death sent shockwaves through the community and beyond, leaving many to grapple with the senseless loss of such a young and innocent life. The realization that the killer could be someone within the community added to the horror and disbelief that gripped everyone. As investigators pieced together the timeline of events, a disturbing revelation came to light. Fay's body was found in a shallow grave, and the autopsy confirmed that she had been murdered. The investigation quickly focused on one of Fay's neighbors, 30-year-old Cody Scott Taylor, who lived just a few doors down. Taylor had been under surveillance since the beginning of the investigation, and his behavior had raised suspicions. Following the discovery of Fay's body, police entered Taylor's home and found him dead from an apparent self-inflicted wound. The grim discovery of his body added another layer of complexity and tragedy to the case. The investigation revealed that Taylor had no prior criminal record, leaving many to wonder what could have driven him to commit such a heinous act. Law enforcement officials say, "We believe that Cody Scott Taylor abducted and murdered Fay Swetlik. The evidence we gathered points conclusively to his involvement. His subsequent suicide indicates a consciousness of guilt. The investigation revealed that Taylor had placed Fay's body in the woods shortly before police found it. He had also placed items of evidence in his trash, which ultimately led investigators to him. The motive behind Taylor's actions remains unclear, leaving the community to struggle with unanswered questions. The senseless nature of the crime and the lack of a clear motive left a lingering sense of unease and sorrow. The community, while relieved to have answers, was left grappling with the enormity of the tragedy and the inexplicable actions of a seemingly ordinary neighbor. The discovery of Taylor's involvement was a gut-wrenching twist that added to the community's collective grief and confusion. In the wake of Fay's death, the community of Casey came together to mourn the loss of their bright, young girl. Memorials sprang up around the neighborhood, with flowers, stuffed animals, and heartfelt messages left in tribute to Fay. Candlelight vigils were held, where friends, family, and neighbors gathered to honor her memory and support one another through the grief. The outpouring of love and support highlighted the strength of the community in the face of such a devastating loss. The communal grieving process was a testament to Fay's impact on those around her and the collective commitment to ensuring her memory would never be forgotten. The community's response was one of solidarity and compassion as they sought to provide comfort to Fay's family and each other during this heartbreaking time. School and community leaders speaking school principal. Fay was a joy to have at Springdale Elementary. She brought so much light to our school, and her absence is deeply felt by all of us. Community leader. This tragedy has shaken us to our core, but we will continue to support each other and remember Fay for the beautiful soul she was. The impact of Fay's loss extended beyond her immediate family to her school and the broader community. School officials and community leaders spoke out about the profound void left by her death, emphasizing the importance of coming together to support one another. Their words underscored the collective grief and the determination to turn the pain into a force for positive change. The community's resolve to honor Fay's memory through acts of kindness and solidarity reflected a shared commitment to healing and resilience. Their heartfelt tributes served as a reminder of the lasting impact Fay had on everyone who knew her. In response to the tragedy, the community and local authorities implemented new safety measures to protect children and prevent such a horrific event from happening again. These measures included increased neighborhood patrols, enhanced communication channels for reporting suspicious activities, and community-led safety programs. The initiatives aimed to create a safer environment for all children and foster a sense of vigilance and care within the community. The proactive steps taken in the aftermath of Fay's death were a testament to the community's determination to ensure that her legacy would contribute to a safer and more connected neighborhood. The new safety measures were a positive outcome from an otherwise tragic event, demonstrating the community's commitment to protecting its most vulnerable members. Child psychologist. The loss of a child is an unimaginable tragedy for any family. It's crucial that we provide ongoing support and counseling to help Fay's family and the community cope with this trauma. The involvement of mental health professionals underscored the importance of addressing the emotional and psychological impact of Fay's death. Providing support to those affected by the tragedy was essential in helping them navigate their grief and begin the healing process. The psychologist's insights highlighted the long-term effects such a traumatic event can have on a community and emphasized the need for continued support and resources. The case of Fay Swetlik is a heartbreaking reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of community vigilance. As we remember Fay, let us also commit to protecting and caring for one another, ensuring that such a tragedy never happens again. Thank you for joining us today. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more in-depth true crime stories and updates.